Oh, hi there, friends. You may have noticed that I've taken a little bit of a turn the last couple episodes. I have a conversation coming up with Meredith Kelly, and this conversation was so valuable to me, and it sparked a desire for me to want to learn more about myself, heal more of myself, and honor more of myself. And I've seen and felt that during this process, there is grief, mostly grieving who you are, but grief nonetheless. So I'm sharing it because that's what we do here. Moving on. When you have that feeling in the pit of your stomach, like your intuition is telling you everything you need to know, but your brain is taking a very long time analyzing the data so it can make the right choice. You ruminate and play out every possible outcome 100 times, and that whole time your gut is screaming the right answer to you. You just don't want to hear it because you know it's the right answer, and sometimes the right answers hurt the most. Welcome back to Mourning People, the podcast for everyone who convinces themselves that indecision is safer than pain, because we don't do grief right. So what I'm talking about is pretty broad. It could be a friendship, a relationship, a job. We find ourselves in situations where something just doesn't feel okay and we can't quite name it, but we feel it and it feels heavy and confusing. Sometimes it gives us anxiety. Sometimes it makes us mad. Sometimes we fluctuate between anxiety and anger. And it's just always there and we do our best to push it down, or we tell ourselves we're overthinking. But my question is, what if we're overthinking because we're not spending enough time feeling it? What if, and I know this is going to be hard, but what if that feeling is right? What if that feeling is telling us all we need to know? I've noticed this in myself a lot lately, trying to ignore a situation for what it actually is because the alternative gives me a stomachache. Nobody likes change, regardless of what that change is. Nobody likes leaving the person they love, but the other side of that equation is still pain. It's just easier to sit with because you're not losing anything. Why do I convince myself that as long as I'm still tied to a situation that's hurting me, it will hurt less than letting go? Outcomes are scary. Uncertainty is scary, but I think it's scarier to keep going back to something that hurts you because that's when we lose ourselves. That's when we're actually putting someone else's comfort before our own. My new motto for this season of life is, if it brings me confusion more often than peace, I leave. No big exit, no closure conversations, just gone. Balancing my peace with pain, whether it's someone else's pain or my own, is not what I'm seeking out of life. Sometimes I feel like part of the problem is communication. Like maybe if we were brave enough to tell people what we were actually feeling, fewer people would spend months trying to decipher actions. Maybe then people wouldn't be so fucking confused all the time. But communication also comes with uncertainty and outcomes we may not like, and then the cycle just continues. So let's give ourselves closure. That might confuse someone else. And if it does, remind yourself that they had more than enough time to figure out their end of things before it came to you walking away. They can handle it. If you find yourself in a situation where you're just fighting for a little bit of clarity, to feel less on edge, less anxious, less angry, give yourself the clarity. Walk away. Throw yourself so far into discovering who you are that you won't even notice how bad it hurts. And tell yourself, if it brings me confusion more often than peace, I leave. Then leave. That's clarity. If you're really going through it and you just need a place to let it out, remember that I'm always here. And when I say that, I mean it. I built this community to hold space, to witness pain, to honor it, and to move through it. And that's a lot to tackle on your own. I say it all the time, but my DMs are open. You can email me anytime and we can talk about it. And I can witness it with you and we can move through it together. Anytime, for real, for always. Please remember that healing fucking sucks. There's no way around it. There is a lot of pain in healing, and it's good to remind yourself that moving through that pain brings you to the other side. And you know what? It's really nice on the other side when you can put your inner battles to rest for a bit, at least, because they do come up again. It's freeing to just not have to settle for things that don't make you happy. I remember a long time ago, I was watching a certain daytime talk show host who has a lot of money, and she said, doubt means no. And I kind of carried that with me for a long time, but I think the way I see it now is confusion means no. If you're stuck in a situation where you just don't know what the fuck is going on and you're just sitting around waiting for clarity, do it yourself. It's okay to be done. You can just leave and make your life what you want it to be. There's strength in just moving on. We don't need people holding us back anymore. Can you tell I quit my job? I was so excited about it. It was so good, and it very quickly spiraled into a shit show. It wasn't good for me, so I left. I just left. And this whole message that I'm trying to convey today is not just about work. It's not just about relationships. It's about any part of your life that you feel isn't serving you anymore. Okay, friends, I'm done. I'm just rambling now. Have a good day. Don't forget to brush your teeth before bed. You're not alone. You're a mourning person. Bye, friends.